Back on this job today, this is the one where we've had to lug all our stuff up. That window, I don't know if you remember this. This is where we've already first fixed all the waste pipes and we've got some hot and colds in. What I've got to do today is get these shower valves set up. We've got twin showers going on here, so I need to work out exactly where they're going. We've got one over there, and then there's a wall being built in here, and we've got a level deck going in. So yeah, we're gonna have to have hot and colds up, and then the risers and the heads are going on this wall and that wall that's not been built yet. This wall here has got, I've written it down, I think it's got 75mm insulation on, so we need to allow for that in the shower valve depth. I've brought the shower valve up actually. We do actually get a fair bit of play on this one, so we need to set that up so we don't snooker ourselves on the second fix, but I'll sort of explain as we go along. So yeah, I'll work out the depth of that, get them on the wall, and then we'll start to get some hot and colds piped up, and then we've got to get one for the riser and then one for the fixed head coming out up there somewhere. So yeah, that's the plan. And then I've got that bathtub to have a look at. That's going on the back wall. It's one of them that comes out of the floor. So we've got hot and colds team down there. Still got to get hot and colds back through into the main bit as well. And then we've got basin is here somewhere with twin basins, so hot and colds up for that, and a cold feed in for the toilet. That's what we're going to crack on with anyway. And I'll try and get some footage as we go along. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. We want to do 220 off that corner. It's a 2 litre shower tray, but we've got 20mm. That's quite a bit actually. That's what we want to be. 220. That's going to be the edge of that stud wall. Might be a 3-inch stud, so we want to come back 10mm and then we're across 500. So 510 is the centre of the shower valves to the 500 in from either side. Allowing for plasterboard but not tile, because I'm going to allow for plasterboard and not tile on the other side, if that makes sense. So 510. 530. That's the centre of both shower valves. They're actually going in at 1000mm to the centre of the valve. That's what's been agreed with the customer, because there's a shelf going in above and they don't want the shower valves above the shelf, they'd sooner have them below, and they want the shelf at around 1200. So shower valves are going in at a metre. Sometimes you get a measurement in the instructions, but on these the finished wall needs to fall, basically the tile needs to fall within this zone here. If you get it wrong, you're going to completely snooker up the second fix. So it is very important that both valves are set the same level, plumb, and the tiles fall within that zone there. Then the plate will push on, and then the top bit goes on there, your handle. So it is important we get them set. But you need to remember we've got 75mm insulation going on the wall. I know I said 75 before, but I just looked at the plan, it's actually 70 plus the tiles. So we're going to be roughly 80mm out. So if we set that 70mm to the back, that should be fine. So what's that? It gives about 25mm behind. We'll see what we've got to space them out. We'll cut some strips off this and we'll pack it out to the correct distance. Can't emphasise enough how important it is to get this stuff right. Get it wrong, you simply stop. Get temporary notes, get good fixings, and pack everything out to the depth. Make sure everything's plumb, square, and the fact that we've got two, it's going to be dead level right the way across. Otherwise, if you get it on like a grout joint, it's going to look weird. They only give you 2 fixing points on these as well. Handy having the laser, because you just laser through the centre of your valve. Now I know we've lasered that through the centre of the valve, but I always like to just put this cover plate on. Just so we can measure our depth and ensure that is truly 100% plumb. I'm too far back. How's that happened? I'm too far forward, sorry. Better off just one of them. That's why I always like to, that's why I always double check everything. Don't know how I've made that mistake, but I have. I'm going to be about 80mm, so we should be spot on at that. Now I know I've mentioned the insulated plasterboard. I've checked with the architect and that's the product he specified. You've got to be careful sometimes because if you skim it, it can only carry, I think it's 21 kilos per metre squared, but we're not going to be skimming that wall. We're just going to be tanking it straight out with the MP kit, so it should be absolutely spot on. The other way you could have done it was built a timber wall up there. It's just basically we've got to lift the insulation value and put kingspan in between, but you don't want to do it that way. He wants to use the insulated plasterboard, so we've got to go by the specification on the job. So that's that valve all set up. We've just got to do the same with the other one and make sure they're dead level all the way across, and then we can get these pipes up. I should actually make sure that I've got that valve in the correct way up. I'm sure that's the way it should go, but I need to double check with the instructions. And then we've got one will be for the riser head and then the other one will be for the rinse head. That is right. As we look at that valve, hot is on the left, cold is on the right, and then it doesn't matter which we use for the riser head and which we use for the other one, as long as they're both the same, because it's not indicated on the valve, it just sort of left and right on the click. Sometimes they are marked on the chrome, so it show like a little picture of the shower head and then the riser, but this one it doesn't. They're not indicated, so it just shows sort of left and right. That's absolutely spot on, perfect where we want to be. So we just need to make sure that valve there is plumb, and then we can start to get some hot and colds drop down and connected up under the floor. Absolutely bang on where it needs to be. What we'll do is bubble wrap these back up, but we'll probably check again after we've got it piped up to make sure nothing's moved. We'll get some clips on the wall, we'll keep everything level, but you'll never see it, just so everything just lines through. It'll just look better. You only need a couple of clips on here. I mean, they're going to have to cut the back of the insulation out for the pipes anyway, but there's not a lot I can do about it. I'll keep them straight for them, or straight as I can. And the other one's for the other riser where the wall's not built yet, we just have to leave pipes sticking out. Ready to connect on. Probably shouldn't show you this, but I'll show you one that another contractor, I didn't win this job, this is the one where we ran the soils and wastes in for, but I'll show you how they pipe their shower. Well, the whole bathroom's a mess. See if I can hide that number. They've used water flexes and then just speed fit. Let me zoom in. That's how they pipe the shower valve. Just flexes. The whole bathroom is done in flexes. I'm not saying my work is perfect. Ideally, well, the manufacturer's saying compression joints. I'm not bothered about using compression joints behind there, because this one you'd be able to get to it on the access panel anyway. But I know if I'd had the option, I probably would have soldered there with my lines, but not a lot I can do when it's supplied by the manufacturer. So yeah, I'm just going to drop them straight down, a couple of little kicks, and we'll get them in. Just prop myself a little kick on that pipe. Bit of jet blue. We had to do ourselves a little bit of an offset on this one just to get past that joist. So if you can bend pipe, you can save yourself a lot of time, and a bend will never leak. That probably will if I've done it, but that's got the hot and colds dropped down. We'll do the same with that one, and then we'll get these connected up. I'll split off that 22, we'll just go 15 and 15. We may as well make this one the hot, no other reason that it's on the left already. And we'll just reduce that down to 15, and we'll bend onto there. We'll just put a kick and then a press elbow. Let's get that, that's got that hot done, and we'll just send a 15 across that way. Press it. Take a bit off the fitting. Press that off that position. Everywhere up. That's got the hot side connected up on both. We've just got to do the same on the cold now. We've just got to cross over that one, and I'll kick out past there. Should be easy enough. The reason I'm using press is just a bit quicker. You don't get any flux or rubbish in your pipe. I can solder, but every job's different. I just need to get on this one. Press piece across there first. That's got them hot and cold connected onto the shower valves. I still need to connect this end. I will label up which is my hot and my cold. That was my hot, that was my cold, but I'll tape them just in case I forget. I just do it as I go along because I don't want to get anything crossed or anything like that. To be honest, if you got them crossed on the basin, it won't be too bad, but your showers and your toilets, game over. So yeah, label everything up. What I'm going to do, got a bit of chasing now for my wall plates. I need to go have a look at my drawing. I think they're going here. This wall is being carried along in stud work, so I think it was 490 off the finisher. We need again plus 70 and then 490. We'll put the riser one here somewhere and the fixed head one up there. So we've got a load of chasing to do now, and then them ones we'll just swing round and we'll effectively leave them just in this stud in here. That is the centre of our stud, so we just need to put a pull bend back at that point. So just done a little offset onto the clips and then pull it back here, and then they can put their wall up and our pipe will be in the centre of it. All things being equal, this should fit. We've not tried it yet, but it's got two chances, hasn't it? Bob open one now, I hope. And it's looking bang on. You can actually chase thermalite out with a multi-tool. These are just thermalite blocks, so they're lightweight. That blade's not got a lot of life on it, but I'll show you. So there's no teeth on that, it's just, I don't know, cuts it really well. So I've just chased it out with a hammer and chisel. I'm going to be using a soldered back plate. You're better off setting these a little bit further back than forward. What we're aiming for is to get that flush with the finished tile, but you can always extend that forward, and to be honest with you, you always end up having to shorten your back plates and your not your back plates, your bits on your fixed head, and you rise a bit down anyway. So even if that's 20mm behind the wall, you'll be fine. You can extend them forward with like rad tail extensions if you're too far back. But if you're too far forward, you are snookered. Yeah, so we're going to end up with roughly 25mm on that wall in dot and dab and plasterboard, and with 10mm tile. So that will be 10mm back behind the tile. So that's going to be perfect for us. So I've brought some hair felt lagging up with me. So all I'm going to do is literally just bend around, solder that up out of position, bend it around, and connect it onto that one. Thermalite blocks you can actually screw straight into as well. Sometimes you get a better fixing that way. Although this one's on the joint, isn't it? So that's got them in, plumbed up, everything should be in the right place for us. So I can't quite finish this bit until we get this stud wall built. But what I'm going to do now is go and see if I can find my bath tap. What we've got going on the back here, we've got 150mm shelf, and then the tap needs to be 150mm forward of that. We need to work our centres out. It's coming out of the floor. Hopefully it don't fall on any of these joists. But we'll have to cross that bit. I think it's going to be, well, basically that wall's carrying across there, and then it's centre between that one and that wall, so it's going to be down there somewhere. And then we've just got hot and colds to bring across the basins, which the basin, they're not too bad because this is in a stud wall there, so we just need hot and cold. It is twin basin, but as long as they're in the wall, I can do what I like. And then cold feed to the toilet. So yeah, we'll crack on with that bit, I think. Go and find that bath tap. This is the bath tap we've got to fit. The problem, well, not the problem with it, well, it kind of is a problem. With these ones, you've got to have movement to be able to connect that piece up, because what you've got to do is you've got to feed a copper tube through this one. That will already be pre-soldered, so you need to move that down in order to connect, to get your spanner in there to connect that up. So you need at least, I would say, 40mm movement minimum on that pipe downwards in the floor. Really, they're designed for sort of plastic pipe underneath, so you get that play. I'll have to see what I can do. I need to work out where it's going for a start. What I need to do with these are my hot and colds coming across. We've got to connect them up into the house yet. That tap is going to sit about here, I think. So if I can do it with, so I can get a bit of play on this pipe, I might have to move that clip, because we're going to have to drop that down and then lift it back up. It's the only way you can do these. It even says in the instructions you need movement to be able to connect them in. And then we'll just leave literally 22 stabs coming up, and then they'll have to drop the tiles down over the top, and them shrouds cover it then. It's the only way you can do them. So yeah, we'll have a look at where it's going, and then we'll see if we can get a bit of movement and play in this copper pipe work. So you shouldn't do it in copper. I made life hard work for myself. It's a better job though, isn't it? It's a better job. They look alright, don't they? They should be fine. You'll never see any of it anyway, apart from the chrome dials, but it just needs to look nice, doesn't it? That's going to be dead centre of the bath. What we've got going on here again, we've got 70mm insulated plasterboard. I've allowed around 10mm for the tile. 150 shelf going behind the bath, and then the tap, they wanted it 100mm forward of that shelf, so it's going to be there somewhere. So we need to bring hot up, cold up, dead centre, and then yeah, we'll see if we can get some movement on these. I'll probably get these bits joined in here first, and then we'll have some T's here just where I'm sat. You probably can't quite see. And then to reduce it's just 15. We've only got basins going that side then and a toilet. They'll be fine in 15mm. I think if we mount some timber in there, we can bring some hot and colds through it. It's just a movement issue, but I'll figure that bit out in a minute. So, just check it in. 70mm, 150, and you that there is the centre of the tap, and then the 180 centres, so 90mm either side. 90 and then 180. And we'll go in the centre of that timber. 30mm. Timber square in it. 260. Yeah, timber square. We'll drill some 24mm anyway, so we give this a couple of mil play, and then feed two 22s up. We've got a bit of play on that pipe. I should be able to push that down to connect it up, and then lift it back through. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do that. So that's the hot brought up. We've got to do the same with the cold. We'll just leave them sticking up. I don't know exactly where they're going to be until we get all the finished floor and everything in, and then we'll cut them off, solder them tap connectors on, shrouds go over, tighten them up, and then the tap drops on. It's just that bit of play we need. Yeah, I think I'm going to have enough movement on them pipes to push them down just to solder them connectors on. Them connectors are so tight, they're the ones they've sent, they don't even really fit the pipe, to be honest with you. So I'll probably pick up two new 22 to 3/4 tap connectors, and then when we get to know the finished floor height, it'll literally just be a case of dropping them shrouds on, pushing them down. Them bits will end up literally down here, covered by that, and then we've just got to tighten them up and then pull it back through. That easy. It won't be easy, it'll be a bit of a fiddle, but I think we'll get it. I'll box all that back up so nothing gets scratched, and you just got to get some 15 hot and colds across down to there. It looks like I've already laid some 15mm in, managed to get full length through, so somewhere where I'm stood, go across, across and across. This bath, the bath is actually on site, but it's all boxed up. I just need to work out exactly where this waste pipe needs to be brought. I ran a 2-inch across, so I need to shorten it back here or whatever. Bring that up in the right place, and then it'll just be like a chrome trap underneath, I would imagine. But we'll have a look at that. Coming together into it. I'm trying to keep it as neat as possible. Got them across there, just need to clip that cold up on the right, and literally we're just going to pin them up in that studding, and then we can swing them across where we want. Yeah, we're getting there, we're getting there. Thankfully I'm not going to have time to make the connections today. What time is it? It's only 2 o'clock to be fair. If I can get that toilet cold feed chased in as well, I'll be fairly happy today, and then probably be back tomorrow. I can't remember how far I took my pipe across here actually. I think they're down here somewhere, and then we'll figure out where we're going through there. Not too bad. They're hot and cold in for the basin. That's the waste we did last time. So as I say, I think they'll be fine. It is a wall hung unit, but I'll just bring them out in the stud wherever I need to be. I can put some tees on, then hot and cold for that one, and hot and cold for that one, and we'll split that waste as well. Just need to go into the garage, unbox one of the cisterns and find what unbox the cistern. It's a closed couple toilet going in there, so I'll get that cold feed chopped in the wall and brought out. It's all electric heating in here, so it's having electric underfloor, and then they're just electric towel warmers that are going in, so it makes my life a bit easier. I don't have to worry about that. That cold feed is going to be in the right place for us, so I'll get that clipped in. I did think about bringing it out the floor, but the sooner everything come out the walls where I can, it just looks neater. I couldn't really bring the soil pipe out the wall, so but the cold feet I can, so we'll do it. Right, that's everything in on the hot and colds this side. I'm probably going to wrap this one up there. Hopefully all this is in the right place. We have discussed it all. I know the depth of the finish, so if I've got everything right, they should be bang on. It's always a bit of a guesswork until you sort of get walls and stuff like that, but I think we should be alright. If not, I'll just have to move it. So yeah, I think we'll be able to get over them bath taps. Just got to figure that waste out, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to concentrate over there, but I'm probably going to wrap this one up. At least it's got this job pushed along a little bit now. I've been a little bit under pressure the last few weeks, to be honest with you. Yeah, one thing over another. But yeah, I'm all right. You know, just keep going, don't you? So yeah, I imagine the builder's going to want to get in here now to get all his flooring put down and stud walls and stuff. I just need to work out that bath waste down there. Yeah, I'll stop waffling. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike. I'll catch you all next time.